Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday, so you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn Supply 3019. Show me that chart.
Yeah, so that chart is flat, Noah, as you can see, but it's a little bit fuzzy because if you look at the weekly numbers, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment, those are actually up sharply. So these macro charts are a little bit tricky. We're going to see the same thing in pending, but on macro level supply, it remains flat in Brooklyn.
Flat is what John says. Flat is what it must be. Thank you, Johnny. Let's move on to Brooklyn pending sales. The measure of demand came in at 3237. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, that's a tick up. We haven't seen a tick up in a little bit of while, but I think that has to do with the fact that it was Labor Day, so you didn't have a lot of closings that week. Acros was closed, so pending tends to not move down when things are closed. So necessarily, it kind of ticks up.
Yeah, and not a lot of big moves here. And I'm just going to go switch over here to the Brooklyn supply chart. We've only got this for about a year and a half or so. So that's why the data is limited. But you could see exactly what John is saying by that flat nature right over here. Majority of this year has, in fact, been flat. And as opposed to Manhattan, John, which is coming down, right? So different trend there. And then when I look at pending sales, I mean, again, we're up, and we're up nice and strong. And it's a nice, steady, solid chart. Like I don't get worried that we're climbing too far too fast, as opposed to Manhattan. When I look at pending sales in Manhattan, that's like kind of up and coming down a little bit. Looks a little scary, like it could regress. This is totally the opposite. So when I look at Brooklyn, I just think stability, John. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Brooklyn looks like the much stronger market here. It seems like demand for Brooklyn has just been existent for a long time, and whereas Manhattan seemed to be out of favor than in favor. Brooklyn
great hybrid market
in favor for several years now.
That's right. I would agree with that. Let's move on to the weeklies, Johnny. I'm looking at supply. Brooklyn 422 things came on the market. Show me that chart.
Yeah, 422, Noah. That's a big jump. Again, everyone knows the week after Labor Day, we usually see a lot of listings. That's no surprise. That is exactly what we saw. But that is probably the biggest number of weekly listings we've seen in the last several years. And frankly, that's, normally that scares you a little bit when you see a giant jump in listings. But if you take away the fact that this is right after Labor Day, you take away the fact that this market Brooklyn needs as many listings as it can get. Yeah, it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, it is. It is. And buyers would love to see that. Of course, remember, the market pulse in Brooklyn is over 1. That means there's more things in contract than there is even available for sale. So that is to John's point. We need more inventory. So that is welcome. Let's move on to contract sign. 1 week contract sign came in at 178. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, 178. That's roughly up 10% or so from the week before. And look, Noah, this was a shortened Labor Day week, and it still came close to the 200 level in Brooklyn, which is kind of, the gangbusters level that we've talked about. So we've been below that level for several weeks, but just put yourself in the mind of a buyer here. It's Labor Day week and you're signing a contract in Brooklyn. That speaks to the nature of the market in Brooklyn right now, that it's just strong.
Yeah, it is strong. And John, correct me if I am wrong, but for the first time in a while, we talked about the net deficit of supply. Basically what we're saying is if you got 422 things coming on the market, right? Mm-hmm. And you got 178 things going off into contract, plus 235 over here going off market. And I'm looking at this number right here, and it looks like it's lower for the first time than 422, which means for the first time in a while, and this is how it works because this is the listing season, so we got to see how long this will last, there might be a net positive of inventory. So Brooklyn may actually have that pressure up, but time will tell. 1 week is not a trend. It's just something I wanted to point out, Johnny.
Yeah, good call.
Okay. Moving on to that net deficit or increase, let's move that to a visual, John. This is exactly what we did on Friday with Manhattan. This is now Brooklyn. Is the supply squeeze ending, Johnny? And when I look at this chart, I see this right over here. This is going down. This is declining over here. It's getting closer to going positive. And that is what we were just pointing out. So as we do this chart going forward, it might go green. Johnny, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, look, on the weekly level, we're finally starting to see that those numbers flip. Again, it's a weekly basis, but if you look at that monthly thing, I mean, these numbers were really big in the winter and in the spring, and they've really kind of shrunk, especially in September so far. They're really down low. And honestly, what you want that to flip to green, just for the sake of buyers out there and deal volume in Brooklyn. If the buyers don't have anything to buy, they're not going to buy. So we want to see that go positive. Not too much, just enough.
Right.
But this to me seems like there might be less of a squeeze in Brooklyn, which net's a great thing.
This whole thing is what buyers have been dealing with. And Manhattan's been the same thing. So for anyone that wants to question this recovery or think about the recovery, This is basically showing you which direction inventory has been going as a result of market forces, of deals being signed and things going off market. And that is what my buyers are looking more for, something like this. And that's what they're looking for, to get some type of edge back, and they haven't seen it so far. So this is going to be really interesting to look out. Very, very good. That is John Walkup. Thank you for pulling up all that data, Johnny. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We're both from UrbanDigs. If you got questions, we got answers. Don't forget to look at our forum. Other than that, we wish you a great week, and we'll catch you next time.